Hey guys, Dilby here, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a really cool video for you. So Slate Digital just dropped a new plugin in collaboration with Murda Beats. If you don't know who Murda Beats is, he's a hip-hop trap producer, one of the biggest guys in the game at the moment, so it's kind of a big deal. You have to excuse me, I'm a little bit sick, but I just wanted to come in and make this video quickly anyway. So I haven't had a look at the plugin yet. I've downloaded it, but I haven't even loaded it up yet. So it's going to be really interesting. This is like a genuine first impressions. My prediction is that it's going to be something like RC-20 or the Drip plugin, you know, that super annoying thing that they're always advertising on YouTube. Basically like a multi-effects unit that you can just drop onto a melody to make it more kind of trap sounding with the like pitch bendings and wobble and that kind of thing. That's my prediction anyway. You can check my comment on the Slate Digital promo video. I guessed that before it came out. So as always, the project from the video is on Patreon now, so jump over there and grab it if you're a Patreon. If not, then maybe jump over and have a look and think about joining. So let's get in. First impressions on Murda Melodies by Slate Digital and Murda Beats. Let's go. Alright, so here we are in Ableton, and I've made a little beat to go along with this first look at Murda Melodies. So let's have a quick listen to the beat. So there's quite a bit going on there because I wanted enough elements to try this plugin on different things. So we've got the vocal, we've got a little stab here, string and up, riff, and some chord stabs. So let's find this plugin, Murda. Okay, here we go, Murda Melodies, Slate Digital. Let's give it a go on the vocal. Okay, interesting interface. They've gone for like this kind of retro oscilloscope type thing, I guess. Look.
As the colors fade and you're left with what we are, take me into your space, my kaleidoscope is wrong.
That's kind of weird. It seems like it's doing something. I'm not quite sure what, but it sounds like it's doing something in the default state with nothing on.
As the colors fade.
Okay, let's just loop this bit here.
Take me into your space, my kaleidoscope is wrong. It's all black and white.
So what were these? Lo-fi. Pitch shifted, warped, washed out. Okay. So those are the categories of presets. What would be good for vocals? Maybe warped.
Take me into your space, my kaleidoscope is wrong. It's all black and white. Take me into your space, my kaleidoscope is wrong. It's all black and white. Take me into your space, my kaleidoscope is wrong. It's all black and white. Take me into your space, my kaleidoscope is wrong. It's all black and white.
Right, that's really quite cool. I guess I could turn off the effects I've got on here. We're hearing just what it's doing. But I mean, I guess the way that you would use it is that you would put it on as an effect after you've kind of done your mixing, I guess.
Take me into your space, my kaleidoscope is wrong. It's all black and white. Take me into your space, my.
So it's a bit more subtle actually when it doesn't have all these effects on the vocal. So something like that could be quite interesting as like a mixing technique, like you put it on kind of like during an intro or something, or it'd have great application in like pop and trap and that kind of thing, because they'll often do things like that with the vocal, where it'll be like kind of washed out or have this like underwater kind of sound. Yeah, so that could be quite cool for like layering vocals and that kind of thing. But I get the feeling maybe vocals isn't the place where it's going to shine. So let's give it a go on the string. I use RC-20 a lot on my like strings and pads just to kind of help create movement and stuff in them. So I think that might be something where it can really shine. It's thicker string, want a thicker string. This is annoying, having to move it out of the way all the time. It's a really big interface. It's quite cool. It's got this grainy kind of aspect to it. They're a lot more subtle than I expected. I expected it to be quite full on, but a lot of the effects are pretty subtle. Right, so that's cutting out all the highs. Let's go back lo-fi. That's nice. It kind of gives it a bit of movement, and I guess it just, yeah, right, so it's cutting out some of the frequencies, helping it to sit in the mix a bit nicer, and there's a bit of pitch going on here. I noticed in the presets this wobble is not being utilized much. You go a little bit on the old telephone. Alright, cool. Let's give it a go on this ARP maybe. What's going on here? That sounds like, so, that's a bit of an oversight. It seems like the filter is, I mean, it's not mentioned here that it's before or after and there's no way to change it, but it looks like the filter is independent of the other effects and the amount of the other effects. It would be more useful if you could decide the sequence. So you could kind of say that the filter is before or after the effects, and if it was, whether it was serial or parallel. So basically like whether or not this amount or wet dry would also include the filter, or the filter was separate. Yeah, I feel like it would be much more usable, like, right? So you'd have that down, or you'd have that up, and then as you pulled it off, the filter would also be coming off, so it's letting through more frequencies. So I don't know if that's something that they would maybe consider updating. Slate don't seem to update their stuff that regularly. If I had to give them one criticism, that might be it. That's nice, that's nice. It's a nice like little mixing thing. It really sits it into the mix there. Yeah, I didn't expect that, but it seems like there's quite some like mixing applications for this. Interesting, interesting. Smashed. Okay, something from the warped section. So that's cool. Like that'd be really nice on like an intro. So say you had that ARP as like a main element of your track, and then you could put something like this on, put an effect like this on in the intro. So you're kind of introducing the element in the intro of the track, and then that comes off, and it kind of fills up more space, really comes into the forefront of the track. Again, like it would be more useful if you could control the amount that was happening from the filter with the dry wet. I guess it's been designed with like this kind of trap melody thing in mind, being as that's the way it's branded, and they tend to just kind of make something and it's in the track. Tracks are a bit more repetitive than house music or techno music because the beat is important, but it's mainly the vocal is the main focus of the track. Let's try it on the drums. Hey, why not? Put it on the drum bus here, because that could be quite interesting for like a break or something. Spicy. Okay, cool. Yeah, that kind of works. I can see some application for that. Try it on this pluck riff. I might have to turn off the ARP. really interesting actually for mixing. Like, it seems to help these elements sit in the track a bit nicer. Maybe it does make them a bit more washed out and in the background. So kind of like for your lead or main element, maybe it's not so useful. But like if you've got melodic elements that you want to sit in the background and kind of be a bit less dry. My first impressions, final thoughts. This menu is freaking annoying. Like, say I'm on this floating thing. When I click that, I want it to go back to there, and then I scroll from there, whereas it scrolls from the top. That's annoying. I would like to have the filter included in this dry wet amount knob. Would make it so much more usable, really. But it seems cool. It's not. It's a lot more subtle than I expected it to be. I expected it to be quite full on, but I guess maybe that's a good thing. Sound like RC-20, there's a bunch of presets for like drums and things, whereas this seems to be like geared towards melodies, like these kind of like trap, pitchy melodies, which I mean makes sense with the branding and that kind of thing. Yeah, cool. I'll definitely use it. I need to check it out a bit more. If you're a Slate user, then yeah, download it and get stuck in. I think it's cool. If you follow me on Patreon and you like the sound of this project, it is a bit rough at the moment, but I'll clean it up a bit and put it on Patreon so you can grab the beat and have all the presets and sounds and stuff. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that. It was pretty interesting for me. Seems like I was pretty on the money with what it was going to do. To be honest, I was a bit surprised about how subtle the plugin is. Really cool. I will definitely be using it, but I don't think it's like a game changer. I don't think it's like a RC-20 killer, or I don't know. I've never used the drip plugin. The advertising is too annoying for me, so I can't compare it to that. As I said, there's a couple of flaws in the interface which make it a bit less usable for me, but I can definitely find some applications for it for sure. It really seemed to be geared towards like melodies and especially pads. If you want to check out a video on how to make pads and sustained melodies, then I've got one right here. It's pretty good, so check it out. Alright guys, that's it from me today. Hopefully I'm feeling a bit more healthy next week. We'll catch you then. Peace.